25th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemorrah.
They established the property in the hands of the son. Ukme beniske, benichse. They established him with the property, meaning him, the son, who had gone before the judge, Rabbi Yirmi Bar Abba. That was step 2 in the case. Step 3 in the case is that the father, not meaning the husband, the former husband,
stepfather.
You want to call him stepfather, okay? He went before. He didn't. It doesn't say that he went to a different bezdin. It's very interesting. It says Amro Lemilsa Kamei the Rev Hoshaya. He was just he was talking and mentioned the ruling. He was discussing the case that happened with the property, and he mentioned the ruling that had been made in the case to Rav Oshaya, and then Rav Oshaya
Sorry, Rav Oshaya, there was a friend.
Yeah, that's why I'm understanding that it doesn't say that he was Ozil Kameh. Ozil Kameh means that he came before him for a ruling. And it doesn't say that over here. It just says Amr Lemilsa. He said over the case and what was decided to Reb Oshaya. And then it says that Reb Oshaya, he went and he said this case and the ruling before Rav Yehuda. And then Rav Yehuda said to he said to Rav Yehuda, who had presented it to him. Now Rav Yehuda, he's not the party to the case. He's already the third man over here who's heard the story from someone who heard the story from the son, or from the stepfather. And based upon what he heard, Rav Yehuda said a ruling that a woman who sold her niksei malug in the lifetime of her husband, and then passes away after that in the lifetime of the husband, habal motzi, the husband is the one who's entitled to take that property, even away from the purchasers that the wife had sold the property to. So that's what we're up to at this point. And we were discussing what are the implications about this, what Shmuel said in regard to the case of the son and the stepfather. Would that mean that according to what Shmuel, the ruling of Shmuel, would that mean that he would reverse the case? That in other words, that it wasn't the correct ruling that was rendered. That would seem to be what the implication from the Gemorrah is. But we have to go further. The story is far from over. It's continuing, and before we continue with the Gemorrah, I see that we have, I believe, I'm wondering if this Rashi, oh no, the Baal Motzi. Oh, okay. So this, yeah, we're caught up in Rashi. So let's go further in the Gemorrah. The Gemorrah now continues, Amruha, Kameder of Yirmiyah Ba'aba. Now this can be found.
88B1. It's the third paragraph on the left side.
Okay, so Roy, would you like to read?
Reb Yirmiyahu Ba'aba defends his ruling. Amarua Kamei the Rabbi Yirmiyahu Ba'aba. They related Reb Yehuda's ruling before Yirmiyahu Ba'aba. Omer lahu ana masnisa yida no. He said to them, I know a Mishnah that supports my position, and it is this Mishnah that should determine the law, not the ruling by the Amora Shmuel. This is put in by the Outscroll editors. Disanan, for we learned in a Mishnah, Hakosev, Nikosov, Lavno, La'acha, Moso. If one writes over his properties to his son for him to acquire, after his, that's the father's death, then Haben Ana Yachol Limko Mipnei Shehain Bishus Ha'av. The son cannot sell the property completely because they are in possession of the father. This must mean while the father's still alive.
Yeah, the father's alive throughout this whole story.
Mhm. Okay.
I mean, this is talking about
Another case, another.
yeah, this is not talking about exactly the same case that we're talking about. Who's the one who's writing his property to his son? Oh, okay. In other words, in this case, that in this Mishnah that he's talking about here, Rabbi Yirmiyah Bar Abba, in support of his ruling that he gave, he's enlisting this Mishnah as a support. So this case is talking about you have a father, and a father writes in a document that he's deeding his property to his son, la'achar moso, after the father passes away. So the son's going to get the property after the father passes away. So then the Gemorrah says, "Haben einu yochol limkor." The son would not be able to sell the property mipnei shehein b'rishus ha'av, because the property, as long as the father is alive, that's what you were saying, Roy, is in the legal domain of the father. Okay, oh no, now we continue in the Gemorrah.
V'ha'av eino yachol limkor mipnei she'ein besuvein leven. And the father cannot sell the property completely because they are written over to the son. Machar ha'av, if the father did sell the properties, machurim ad sheyomos, they are sold until he dies. Machur haben, if the son sold the property, ein lo lelokeach ad sheyomus ha'av. The buyer has nothing in those properties until the father dies.
Son sells it.
All right, that's
Okay, so in other words, both the father and the son could sell the property, but it's not a sale, not a complete sale outright to the buyer.
mhm.
In the case of the father selling the property to a third party after he already deeded the property to his son in his lifetime, rather after the father passed away. So what he could do is he could sell the property. He could sell it if he did sell it. So the sale will be valid as until the father passes away. When the father passes away, I guess it goes to the son. So it's a limited sale. And if the son would sell the property now in the father's lifetime, while the father is still alive, so since the sale to the son has not gone into effect completely, the purchaser, the third party purchaser from the son, would not have any part of the property until after the father passes away.
It's a weird type of, when you say sale, you're not selling anything outright. You're talking about use of the property. That it's basically saying, since the father can then sell the rights of the property until it dies, but until he dies, but after that, then the son has no use of it because he can't get it until after he dies. Son can't use it. The father can sell the rights to somebody else until the death, and that death then has to revert back to the son. That's what this mission is saying.
It's
The
similar
rights-
to what we call a futures option. Like, for example, you buy produce from a farmer, but the produce doesn't exist yet. So you pay him for the future value of the produce.
Okay.
Are we saying that the sale doesn't mean the actual sale of the land itself, but the sale is the rights to profit from the property? The rights to the profit, to the profits of the property. Is that it, what you're saying?
You can use it, basically. You have rights to use it.
Yeah.
When you say sale, I mean, it's a sale until the time you have to give it back. I mean, what else does that mean?
Okay, so let's see if we have some Rashi over here. We have Rashi di Ramaska la'achamoso. That's the first Rashi that we should do. It's the second Rashi on the line. La'achamoso.
Achamoso, after his death, mehayom, from today, ula'acha moto, until after his death, shaguf koneh, ben, what do you call it? The body of the land is acquired to the son. Mehayom, from today, Ella rather Sheha'av Ochala Paris, but the father still has the right of can eat the Paris. He has the right to use the field to create his crops. Ad Yom Moto, until the day he dies.
So Rashi's inserted a very important insertion over here that the Gemorrah doesn't say explicitly. The Gemorrah just says, the Mishnah just says, Hakosev nechasav lebno, the father writes his property to his son, la'achar moso. So I would understand that means that he's selling the property is being sold, and it'll be the sons after the father dies. But Rashi says not like that. Rashi says the case is that it's said in the language of the document. It said that the father is selling the property to the son mehayom, from today. The sale is effective from today, ula achamoso, and also after he dies. Now, what does that mean? Therefore Rashi goes on and he explains that the property right now really belongs to the son, the goof of the property. Rashi calls it. But what does that mean? That he owns the goof of the property. He doesn't own the peiros of the property. He doesn't own the fruits of the field. That the father is totally entitled to the fruits of the field, to the profits and the dividends and anything that any profit that the property can produce. That is continued to be owned by the father until he passes away, at which time the son would own both the goof as well as the peiros of the property. But Rashi's making an important point that already from today, the son owns the goof of the property, because that's what Rashi says the Mishnah means when it says the father sells the property. And I think, if you want to know what I think the reason for that is because I don't think in the halacha that the sale could be performed after the father passes away. After the father passes away, he does not own the property anymore. It would go be Yerusha. It would go to the son as an inheritor. But he wouldn't own anything until the father passed away. Like this, the son owns the goof of the property already in the lifetime of the father, because the father specified in the document that it's mehayom, and therefore the document is effective because it's effectively transferring the property in the father's lifetime to the son. And this that the son, then just the document says la'achar misa, that means to say only then will the son get the peiros to the property. Until that time, the father is reserving the ownership of the peiros for himself. Oh, and So now let's do the next Rashi. Mechurin ad shiamos. Is that what we just read?
No, we're up to that one now.
That's in the case where the father,
He could
if
sell it
the
until
father
he
would
dies.
sell the property to a third party.
That's what we said, the lokeach, the purchaser, ochel peros. He can use the fruits of the property ad shiyamot, until the father dies. Ikushimus hadav, when the father does die, the ben goes, umotze miyad ha'ukochot. He then can take it out of the hands of those purchasers. now gets it. It reverts back to the son.
Right. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's the Gemorrah and that's the Rashis. And now we're going to continue with the Gemorrah as we see, because right now I don't see exactly what the how this Mishnah, how is this Mishnah a support for Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba? Let's see what exactly is the
No, it's the same. It's almost the same concept as with the mother. It's the same idea of her passing it to her son. The Maluk property is the same thing as the thing that the father wants to sell. He's selling it to the son up to the death. She gets it after the death. Before the death, the property can be used by the purchaser. So it sounds like almost the same case.
Well, no, because she's bequeathing it in a will.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same concept of
No,
him
no,
bequeathing
no, she's
the
not.
sale.
Not a will.
It's not a will. It's a sale. He's giving a sale, but it's giving a sale that's only conditional upon her death.
This is the confusing part of this of the language of the Gemorrah, that it says that she wrote the she wrote this Kesavtinu Lenikse the Rav Shmuel bar Abba Ra Basar the Shchiva. She wrote in a document that her son that the son should receive the Niksei Malug after she passes away.
So why do you say
It's a
that?
gift. It's a gift.
Will?
Isn't it a gift? We haven't heard anything about the son paying for it.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the son paying, but
She gifted it to him. Made a present.
yeah, I don't know if that makes a difference whether
Probably.
if he owns it, he owns it. Whether he paid for it, he didn't pay for it. Okay, so that's the
I don't get what the phrase "after she died" is
Okay.
referring to.
yeah. See, so the thing is like this.
Oh, wait a second. I see. She gave it to him while she was alive, and then after she died, there was a dispute.
Right. It's not so clear from the language of, it's not, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not so clear from the language of the Gemorrah what exactly the facts of the case were. So maybe we'll see if in the course of the Gemorrah, I would assume that the Gemorrah is gonna talk about this document that the mother wrote to the son. How is that document working? And at what point in time is it working? Let's see further on in the Gemorrah. So we're up to Kimayis Av. Alan, would you like to continue the reading?
Can't hear you, Alan.
The third paragraph.
The third line from the top of the the right-hand column, 88B1. I think that's right. 88B1,
Gemorrah of Yehoah. The Mishnah implies in this last case that when the father dies, at least Ish Leyoah Lelokea, the buyer has acquired the property completely. Ba'af al Gav, the mace Habain, Haye or, and this is so even though the son died during the father's lifetime, below or so we pay Habain, but the rights of the produce never actually came into possession of the son. The Gemorrah interrupts Rabbi Yirmiyah or Abba's proof to provide some background information. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, this argument of Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba in accordance with Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, that Omar, who said, Lo Shalom Mace Habain B'chaye Ha'or, no matter whether the son died during the lifetime of the father, or so we the vein, in which case the produce never into the possession of the son. Lo Shalom Ma Hames Ha'or B'chaye Ha'or, or whether the father died during the lifetime of the son, or so the days, in which case the produce came into the possession of the son. The buyer has acquired the properties. The Gemorrah continues its interruption by citing the context of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish's ruling. Itmar, who was stated regarding the last case of the aforementioned Mishnah, before Habain, the Haye or in this Habain, the Haye or, if the son sold the property during the father's lifetime, and the son died during the father's lifetime, Rabbi Omar Lo, Rabbi Yochanan says the buyer does not acquire the property until the father's death. The Yetesh Omar, Konor Lekea, while Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says that the buyer acquires the property upon the father's death.
Okay. Let's see. What do we have over here? So I think this is all the words of Rabbi Yirmiyah continuing. This is all the response of Rabbi Yirmiyah to the fact that they told him in the name of Rabbi Yehuda that Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel a certain ruling that Shmuel gave, which conflicted, seemed to conflict with what Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba had ruled. So Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba is clarifying that that his decision is based upon the ruling in the following Mishnah, and that what Shmuel was saying was not relevant, apparently. Not that Shmuel argued with the Mishnah, but that what Shmuel had said was correct, 100% correct, but it was not But Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba held that it was not the controlling, it did not determine the outcome of the case that it was presented to him. So, okay, so we quoted this Mishnah, quoted the Mishnah with the father deeding the property to the son. And then instead, what did he say? Oh, you know what? Let's we have a Rashi over here. Good. We only have 2 minutes left anyway. So let's read the Rashi. Mechurin ad shamus. We didn't read that yet, right?
Yes, we did.
Oh, we did read it. Okay, so that's why I didn't go back there. Okay, I was just hoping for a possibility to not have to explain this now in 2 minutes. All right, so
This next one, is this next Rashi also? Yeah, something like that. The low
Lo
mace.
mesa av b'chaye av. That's further on. That's the part that Alan read from. Okay, so let's read that.
Where's that?
It's the first narrow line of Rashi.
Yeah, where is it in the Gemorrah?
Where is it?
It's above the top line.
It's Rashi. It's Rashi, Roy. It's not in the Gemara.
Dalel meis haben b'chai ha'av is not in the Gemorrah.
Oh, you want to know where the Dibur Maskil is in the Gemara?
Hmm.
Okay, that's what you're asking. Sorry.
So anyway, I'll find it. Dalel. No. Oh, it doesn't matter. I've got Dalel.
This is part of what he said to Itmar. The Itmar, kol ben b'chaya av u'meis haben b'chaya av. Rabbi Yochanan Amar lo konu alokeach, Reish Lakish Amar konu alokeach. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Okay. So, 12:30.
Time is up.
And yeah, so we have
See
no
you,
more
Rabbi.
explaining for today.
Take care. Shabbat shalom.
All the best. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right.
See you tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Bye.
Remember where we left off in the Gemorrah over here for Yom Rishon.
Okay, sounds good.